February 2020, when the pandemic started, and nobody knew how long it will be, and on. But I was hoping, obviously, that it's over in a month, in 2 months, whatever. Now we are so much smarter. We know so much more about it, and it's still difficult time. So it was for everybody. It was for football clubs as well, obviously for different reasons, and that's probably the reason why you asked me if I'm surprised. No, because these clubs don't depend on this kind of things. I think it's just not. Yeah. We all know the situation of Chelsea, and we all know the situation of City, and we all know the situation of PSG, for example. What United is doing, I don't know exactly how they do it, but we have obviously our way to do it, and that's what was always the same. Since I'm in, it was always the same. We can spend, and we are allowed to spend the money we earn. That's what we always did. So this year we spent already before we earned money with Ibu Konate, because after last season it was obviously clear we cannot take any risk in this position at all, and that's it. And that's our situation, and it's not about me being surprised. I'm never surprised about the financial power of Chelsea or City or United. I'm long enough in the country to know that they always find a solution to do these kind of things, and for us, it's our way. So we keep the team together. That's an important part of business as well. I know it's not that as exciting as it is with signing new players for the outside world, but it looks like always the summer is always the same. People think if you don't sign, you don't work. That's not the case. We are constantly thinking about the presence. The past, and the past not so much, the present and the future. So short term and long term. What do we have to do? What can we do? How does it look? How has the team to look this year? How will it look next year? And all this kind of stuff. And that's the situation. So maybe not the most exciting, but if you are a real Liverpool fan, you are really happy about the news the club delivered in the last few weeks. So signing Alisson Becker until I don't know. When the same with Trent Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho, who else did? Sorry. Virgil. Oh, Virgil. Yeah, obviously only recently. So and others will follow. So that's great. That's absolutely great news. But it's just not as spectacular out there, obviously seen as it was. But if other teams wanted to sign these players, they would have to pay a lot of money, and we have them already. So that's good. So now we have a really good squad together. We should be in a better situation than we were last year. So let's try to build on that, what we achieved last year, and let's see where we will end up. But we were constantly on improving the team, and one part of it is signing new players. But the most important thing, and I actually think our fans appreciate that as well, is having a group together who is fun to watch, who is exciting to watch, who is fighting together, who creates a specific, who is definitely 100% committed to the club and to the values of the club and all this kind of stuff. And we have that. So in that loud, let's fight with all we have. And whatever happens until the end of the preseason, we will see. But we cannot just add on players to this squad and say, so, and now let's have a look how that works. Because you have to deal with the squad the whole year. And that's if somebody wants to leave or leaves or stuff like this, then we have to think, do we have to replace it or not? With Gini, it's like that we have, if you want, 2 players who are not new, but can make the next step, with Harvey and Curtis, and Naby can make the next step. Had a full preseason, but it's exceptional preseason, so he can make the next step. We cannot just ignore that, and he's an outstanding player, which everybody wants to sign probably, and these kind of things. That's our situation, and we cannot compare. I said it before. We cannot compare to the other clubs. They obviously don't have any limits. We have limits, but we were quite successful even with having limits in the last few years, and that's what we should try again, and not using it as an excuse. If we will not win a game, we say then it was because we didn't sign him or him. That will not be the case. We want to use our sources, and that's passion and a good way and desire and a clear plan and all this kind of stuff, and direction, flexibility, all this kind of stuff. That's our football. That's what we want to use, and then let's see which is the right way. We cannot spend money we don't have. So, or we cannot. Maybe others can, but we can't. So that's it. That's my information.